In this section, which is relatively short, we'll be using the triangle measure to solve for some missing parts into some right triangles. Notice there are no new concepts in this section, so we're just going to apply what we already know. Here's an example. The circle in this figure, this first figure here, has at its center at C and the radius of 18 inches. And then there's the triangle ADC, which is a right triangle, and A is 35 degrees. And then find X, the distance from A to B, the red line that I put in here. Okay, how do we find that? Well, we have 35 degrees. We have given the opposite and of the hypotenuse. We know part of it, and the variable is the missing part of that hypotenuse. So opposite, hypotenuse, angle, makes sense, so we're going to use the sign. The little gray bar that you see here is actually what I use for the equation editor. Unfortunately, it only shows up as a gray bar for you. So sine 35 degrees is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse, x plus 18 inches. Notice that the inches are actually canceling. So I think on the next step I'll take them out. Okay, solving for x. Well, what we're going to get is, as I said, the inches cancel. X plus 18, multiply by that, and at the same time divide by sine of 35 degrees. So there we go. And then actually we can get rid of the parentheses here as well. And then one more step. Subtract 18 on both sides. And now we plug in the numbers, and I'm going to do that on the side here on the calculator, where I'm going to do 18 divided by sine 35 degrees minus 18 enter 13.38 is what I come up with, but it looks like we have to round to two significant figures anyway, so it's going to be 13 inches. At this point here, maybe I shouldn't have canceled the inches on earlier occasions. Let's keep them here. 18 inches, 18 inches, and then keep them here. 18 inches, 18 inches, so that we still retain them for the answer. Okay, the second example which says as follows. The distance from A to D is 32 feet. I haven't written that on here. 32 feet. Use the information in this figure to solve for x, the distance between D and C. Looks like a rather complicated problem. Notice that in this second triangle here, the one on the right, we have to figure out what x is, which is the adjacent to the angle 54 degrees. And then it's somewhat given in the figure that we may want to use the opposite h, which means it gives it away that we're going to use a tangent in the second triangle. Notice that also in the second triangle, the opposite h goes for the second triangle, one of the 54 degrees, as well as being the opposite for the triangle of 38 degrees, so h belongs to both, which is an advantage. Had we chosen the hypotenuse here, if there was given or something, you know, that would only go for one of the triangles. So in any case, tangent x equals h divided by 54. Oops, not 54, but x. Oops, no, I made a double mistake. Tangent of 54 degrees equals h over x. Sorry about that. Let's look at the other triangle, where we can also use the tangent of 38 degrees this time. And we have h divided by the total length, the total adjacent, which is x plus 32. As I said, I didn't write the 32 into the equation. Excuse me. So in this one here, we can solve for h, and then we're going to come up with h equals x times, I'm going to borrow times here, tangent 54 degrees. And here, we're going to multiply x times 32. So h equals x times 32. A little bit too much. There we go. Times tangent 38 degrees. There we go. And now we recognize, of course, that this h is the same as this h, so we set equal the two right-hand sides. There we go. Now we have to multiply this out. So we're going to have x times 32 degrees. And we're having plus 32 times tangent 38 degrees. And then we get this to the other side, so we subtract minus x tangent 38 degrees equals that. And then, of course, we can sum these two up here, so it's going to be factor out an x, so it's going to be tangent 54 degrees minus tangent 38 degrees. And then we divide by all of this one here. There we go. And then we plug these numbers finally into a calculator. And on the side, I'm going to come up with, actually, let's just plug it into the online graphing calculator that I'm using. So we have 32 times tangent of 38 degrees divided by, here's what I want to point out. Make sure to put the denominator into parentheses, tangent 54 degrees minus tangent 38 degrees, and double parentheses, 42.01, and it looked like we need two significant figures, so it's going to be 42 feet, the answer. So x equals 42 feet. I didn't take along the units here as we were doing this. And that was actually this section, the lecture for the section.